Class 2A Boys State Tournament Edition of Varsity, brought to you by United Supermarkets. I'm Ryan Aber, joined by Scott Wright. Scott, some great teams in this field. You've got defending champion Pawnee, Talihina, who finished as a runner-up last year, and a Watonga team who's really playing well right now.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes you a little bit curious, just how this tournament is going to go. Watonga, a team that comes in undefeated. They didn't play a really tough schedule, but when they played good teams, they generally didn't have a whole lot of trouble winning. They've outscored their opponents by 29 points per game throughout the season. They beat Okarche twice, who is a really good Class A team, and they've got some other big wins on their schedule. They haven't been tested a lot. We'll see how they react in 3 back-to-back close games, which you expect to have at this point in the tournament. Talihina is extremely talented. Pawnee has been number 1 all year. Dealt with some injuries, but were able to overcome that. They'll be without one guy, but the rest of their starting lineup is intact. They seem to be playing their best basketball right now.
And David Page's team always, like you said, seems to be playing their best basketball at this time of the year. How do you see that semifinal matchup between Watonga and Pawnee, if that's how it shakes out, play out?
That has potential to be a really exciting game. You look at a guy like Tate Beer, who is I think about 4th in scoring on that Pawnee team, but he's really the guy that kind of cranks the engine for that team and makes them go. They play a pretty fun style to watch. They're not necessarily up and down the floor all the time, but they're always in position. They're always moving the ball. And they're an enjoyable basketball team to watch. Watonga is a team that we don't know a lot about, so they're a little bit of a surprise to be here and be undefeated and be number 3. So we'll see how it works out. But they're a team that likes to score and they can play some pretty solid defense. So it should be a great game.
And Talihina is a team that made their mark last year at this state tournament. Jordan Eagle Road and Taggart Lockhart. It's hard to believe that they're still just juniors. But this team seems to be loaded not only for this year, but for the future.
Yeah, no, and they're playing really good basketball right now. They had a really bad loss to Douglas, which is completely excusable.
Who that has played Douglas doesn't.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's a completely excusable loss. That was back in early January at the Chickasha tournament in the finals. They beat Western Heights, a 5A team, to get to the finals, and ever since then they've won 17 straight. They haven't been beat yet since that loss. So their team is playing really good. Like you said, Eagle Road and Lockhart are 2 of the better players and only juniors. So yeah. We're going to see them here this year, probably next year. They could be in line for maybe 3 straight title game appearances.
And I picked Talihina, you pick Watonga. Why do you think you're going to be right?
Oh gosh, I think ultimately the confidence that Watonga is playing with. They feel like they're a team that maybe gets overlooked a little bit because they don't have the history, they don't have the really tough schedule that other teams have played. So I think that they're confident and playing with a chip on their shoulder. I think that wins out ultimately.
Should be a great tournament starting Thursday at Norman High School. Scott, thanks for joining us. Thank you. Check us out every day at newsok.com/varsity for the best high school coverage anywhere.